What a year this weekend has been, right?
Yes, it's been a year already. We have some stuff to catch up on. I feel like this is going to be a long show.
It's going to be a long show, you guys. So settle in.
Settle in.
Which is bad for me because I haven't gone to sleep yet from not last night, but the night before. So I just never slept. So yeah, I'm going to be tired by the time we get to the end of this show, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it together.
I got about 4 hours. She got about 0 hours. So between the two of us, it's going to be a good show.
It is going to be a good show. We're going to just mention right out of the gate some like news that impacts Gen Xers in particular. And that is that MTV is no more. It's donezo, you guys.
Isn't that
so
crazy?
Weird.
They played Video Killed the Radio Star as the last video.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did.
It's the end of an era, you know? It's kind of sad. It made me kind of sad.
It is kind of sad. And I saw somebody make the brilliant suggestion on Twitter that what they should do if they wanted to like recapture the magic that was MTV back when we used to watch it religiously is just simply start it over. Like literally just start playing it from the first day until they stopped playing music. And I bet you they would get tons of people listening and watching.
I would watch it. Because I remember we didn't have cable when I was, what was I was probably 7th, 8th grade when it went on the air. And I didn't have cable, but my friend Jenny across the street had it. And so I would go over there all the time just so I could watch MTV. That's when it was great. And then now, and then they got into the reality bull crap. Ruined it. Nobody cares that you're 16 and pregnant. Okay.
Right. Just take the 5 first years of MTV and just re-air it like in order. I don't care that the MTV news is old. It doesn't matter. Just play it and it would just be awesome. I think they'd get all their viewers back, but they're not going to listen to that.
They don't care about what we want. No.
They don't care. They don't care. All right. And just to get through, because obviously we have a lot to talk about because of all the Maduro stuff that happened this weekend. And I was like, seriously, Trump, you got to do that right before we come back? Really? You got to do that right now?
Did you not have waited until this weekend? Come on.
Right? Can't we just ease back in? No, we can't.
No, there's no easing.
So we obviously have to talk a lot about that and the Minnesota fraud. And then we do have the right-wing influencer infighting that continues to rage on relentlessly. And we will get to all of that. But first, a few other kind of extraneous headlines, which includes the news that came out last night that it is looking like Tim Walz is going to drop out of the governor's race. There's a whole bunch of different news outlets that are reporting this rumor. I am assuming it's true. I don't know for sure because he, of course, has not made that announcement, but it is expected that he will drop out. And that is, he met with
the shaky Chihuahua, the Chihuahua lady. Yeah. Amy Klobuchar is the shaky Chihuahua, you guys, if you didn't know. He met with her. This is probably a good idea. And he should go to jail. He should be.
Oh my God.
In handcuffs right now, going to jail. I'm so pissed off that nobody's gone to jail.
Well, to be fair, some Somalis have gone to jail, just not enough of them. And we'll get into all the fraud stuff in a little bit. But yeah, this is a thing that potentially is happening. So just be on, just have some awareness about that. Also, you may have already heard this news, but I just like showing the picture because she's so freaking cute. Caroline Leavitt expecting a baby girl this coming spring. So look
Adorable. At her. I know, right? Just ridiculous. So cute. You remember when I got pregnant? I did not look that cute. You remember?
You remember when I was pregnant? I barely made it to this point in the pregnancy.
I know. It just is totally different.
So totally different. It was bad.
Different
but she's
vibe.
Precious and adorable and perfect. Adorable. Why are you frozen? Is it me? Oh my God, is it me?
No, you were frozen and then we're okay now. Yeah.
Okay.
Your internet's going to have to cooperate with us this morning or I'm going to be punching people.
And then speaking of babies, Meghan McCain and her husband, Ben, welcomed their 3rd child within the last few days and named this little boy Ransom.
I have no comment about the name. Okay, I have comments, but I'm gonna reserve comment because his name is Ransom.
I feel like that's
That's what you say you want when you kidnap somebody.
Right. I just feel like that's not a name.
Right. It's a beautiful baby, though. Absolutely beautiful.
Gorgeous baby. He joins Liberty and Clover. So name picking, not their strong suit. We could just leave it at that.
It's fine. But they're great at making babies. Great at making
really, really good
babies.
at making babies.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations to them. And then the best news ever is that Elon posted yesterday that he had dinner with President Trump and Melania and just was looking forward to 2026, saying it's going to be amazing. And I just love that. I just love that for all of us.
Me too. What I mean? I love it too. It's a new year, you guys.
The fences are mended. Everything it's great. And so their friendship is obviously back on. And Elon has made it very clear that he's going to be financially supporting Republicans in this year's midterms. So that is also very, very exciting.
That doesn't shock me because liberals are batshit crazy.
Totally. So all of that is good news. All right, we're going to get into the Maduro stuff, which is obviously the reason for my name today, but not before we remind you about getting your glow on with Bond Charge.
You guys totally should. So the Bond Charge sale is in full force right now. You can get 15% off on me and Mock's favorite skincare life hack. It's a hack, you guys. If you want like radiant, healthy looking skin in 2026, we all want that. You need Don't F with your face. Don't F with it. Just get the award-winning red light mask from Bond Charge. It is transformative. It is awesome. It is great. You just pop it on 10, 20 minutes a day. Boom. No need for appointment.
Blammo.
Boom. Shabow. It's lightweight, easy to use. It contours perfectly to your face. It's great. You can travel with it. It's really helped me. It helps with dullness, dark spots, fine lines, wrinkles. It's just brightened my middle-aged skin. It's great. And I'm hooked. It's flexible. It doesn't get hot. You can walk around with it, look like Iron Man, scare your dogs. It's great. And you can travel with it. It's rechargeable. It's backed by a 1-year warranty. It ships worldwide. It's HSA and FSA eligible. I have to say that really slow because I'll mess it up. And it's awesome. You guys need to try it out. So here's what you need to do. Go to bondcharge.com/chicks and use code chicks and save 15%. That's 15%. Site-wide at bondcharge.com, code chicks.
Bondcharge.com/chicks.
Code chicks.
Chicks.
Yes.
Do it.
Do it.
All right. So as we get into this Maduro story, we're going to just take a little tiny trip down memory lane, just a few months back to October, when Trump said this in a cabinet meeting.
Maduro offered everything in his country, all the natural resources. He even recorded a message to you in English recently, offering mediation. What should we do in order to stop that?
He has offered everything. He's offered everything. You're right. You know why? Because he doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
It's like one of my favorite things.
It's the greatest. God, it's a great time to be alive, isn't it?
This is an amazing timeline for sure.
Really is.
So then fast forward to this weekend and we saw what happened. So Donald Trump tweeted, the United States of America has successfully carried out a large-scale strike against Venezuela and its leader, President Nicolás Maduro, who honestly, I wish this tweet had not even included that title because the point is he's not a legitimate president.
Not a president, right.
Who has been, along with his wife, captured and flown out of the country. This operation was done in conjunction with U.S. law enforcement. Details to follow. There will be a news conference today at 11 at Mar-a-Lago. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And very quickly, as the world kind of woke up on Sunday morning, we were all checking out this news, or Saturday morning, rather. We were checking out this news and being like, holy crap, he is on the Iwo Jima ship right now, headed to New York City, about to face justice. And J.D. Vance also weighed in pretty quickly after that tweet, saying the president offered multiple off-ramps, but was clear throughout this process. The drug trafficking must stop. The stolen oil must be returned to the U.S. Maduro is the newest person to find out that President Trump means what he says. Kudos to our brave special operators who pulled off a truly impressive operation. And he went on to say that for anybody that's saying this was illegal, Maduro has multiple indictments in the U.S. for narco-terrorism. You don't get to avoid justice for drug trafficking in the U.S. just because you live in a palace in Caracas.
Yeah, and going back to your comment about the whole president, he should have put president in quotes because he wasn't the president. And
he uses quotes all the time when they're not necessary.
Right. Exactly. So that Gonzalez guy, he was the one that won by a landslide, right? And then Maduro used his, strong arm power to bump him out of there because he's a terrorist. This is what he's a freaking dictator terrorist. That's what they do.
This is what they do.
That's what they do. And now liberals are defending it. Liberals are like, the terrorist.
I know, it's crazy. Like Hamas has condemned this, you guys. Hamas.
Well,
and that's when you know. Right. I mean, that's when you know, when you've got Candace Owens and Anna Kasparian and freaking Hamas and everyone on the left saying this is a bad thing, that's how you know you're right.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Marco, obviously a huge player in this entire scenario, also tweeted out, just kind of getting in front of people who are like, this is illegal, saying Maduro is not the president of Venezuela and his regime is not the legitimate government. Maduro is the head of the cartel de los Soles, a narco-terror organization which has taken possession of a country, and he is under indictment for pushing drugs into the U.S. And, bright legal minds, they may argue about this, but Jonathan Turley is like, this is not a problem. He said Democrat members quickly denounced this as unlawful. They may want to review past cases, particularly the decision related to the Noriega prosecution. And he went on to explain how this is absolutely legal. But I'm sure it's going to go through all the rigmarole.
He's head of a cartel. He's head of a freaking cartel. I mean, it's like, why? And we all know why people are upset about this. It's because it's Trump that did it.
Exactly.
Anybody else that would have done this, they would have been cheering it on. But because it's him, it's Orange Man. Orange Man beyond. And so it's just the outrage about this. I just cannot.
Oh my God.
I mean,
it's out of control.
Again, you see all the memes and everything. It's like they were no kings like 2 days ago. And now they're like, but this guy, we love this guy. We love this dictator.
This king is fine.
They're insane, these people.
I know. Their hypocrisy knows no bounds.
No bounds.
There was some interesting folks that weighed in to congratulate Trump on this effective, successful operation. One of those being Pierre Poilievre, who unfortunately is not the Prime Minister of Canada right now, but he sent his congratulations. And then most of all, the weirdest one that I was surprised to agree with was Adam Kinzinger, who I thought immediately would condemn this, but he said Maduro was never the legitimate president of Venezuela. This precision action by Delta to get Maduro without massive military occupation is how it should be done. This was the right call. May Maduro face justice and the people of Venezuela be free.
And it was precise. It was precise and there were no leaks. It was beautiful the way it was handled. Absolutely beautiful.
I just can't believe that he thinks so. I can't believe it.
It is kind of weird, right? I don't even trust it. It's just so weird. I'm like, did somebody hijack his account? What's going on? It's a little weird.
And you're going to hear like all the naysayers talk about how this is only about money and it's only about oil, blah, 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 blah. It is about our standing in the world and protecting our hemisphere. And CNN ran a report where they were talking to, I don't even remember what his official title is as contributor to CNN, but they were asking him specifically, what has been China, Russia, Iran's response to this? And here is what he said about their response.
Tell me how this news is being received in Iran. How's it being received in Russia? How's it being received in China?
All three, predictably, will deplore this kind of activity publicly. Privately, they will be impressed with the military capability here. I would argue none of those three militaries could have executed an operation like this. And again, we tend to just breeze by this. But the idea of finding, fixing, kidnapping, taking him out alive with his wife, no casualties on the side of the U.S., that's an extraordinary military operation. So I think while there will be a lot of public condemnation of the United States, predictably from those three nations, privately they'll be saying to themselves, that's a very capable military. That's not a bad thought to pop up in Beijing, Moscow, and Tehran these days.
Yeah. I mean,
and he was right.
Yeah.
He was right. He called it. I mean, it's just so ridiculous, too, that Russia is condemning the United States for the act of armed aggression. Seriously?
I know.
Okay,
right?
Putin. That's cute.
That's rich, isn't it? I swear he looks like a Vizsla. He's just like an angry Vizsla, isn't he? He totally is. I know. This is the thing. They were in bed with China and Russia and Iran. I mean, Hamas, terrorists. They're in bed with all the terrorists. It's like, okay, we did the right thing. We absolutely, anybody who says that we didn't do the right thing, you just need to discount those people. Discount them.
100%. China also similar reaction. They are deeply shocked, according to their spokesperson. They strongly condemned the U.S.'s blatant use of force against a sovereign state and action against its president. And as Aravind, I'm not sure if I'm saying his name right, pointed out, that he said all China can do is give statements like this and keep doing regular military shows as if taking Taiwan, but not have the guts to actually do it because they're not a superpower like the U.S., although they play all the deep state media to call them a superpower.
Right.
So we've knocked them out at the knees, all three of these countries, because they were using Venezuela as a way to target the United States in multiple different ways.
Right.
So the fact that they can't do that anymore is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Venezuela was their bitch. And now it's not. And so now it's ours. And the people there are delighted about this, whether libs want you to think that or not. They're delighted about it. Because listen, freedom is always a good thing. Always. It always wins. And so when I see that these people are like, oh my gosh, we have been under this rule for what, over 2 decades?
Yeah.
And now they're starting to see like some semblance of freedom. That is always a wonderful thing. People should be cheering that on. Every American, every single one of us should be delighted for that. But there are so many of us that are not. And so pay attention.
And the people that aren't, who are defending Maduro, once again, it's like Trump gets these people to defend literally the worst humans on earth all the time.
Pay attention to the people who are defending a narco-terrorist.
Exactly. So anyway, the Trump presser that was held to kind of explain and tell everybody what was going on was a little bit alarming to some people, not because of the action that he took, but because of what comes next. And so here's what he said about the United States' role in Venezuela, starting basically now.
We are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place.
He's like, Marco Rubio is like, oh, geez.
Yeah, so it says, when you find out you're president of Venezuela now. That will never tire of these memes.
My fifth job, damn it.
And so that, you know, for people who are like, can we just not get involved in more of these foreign wars? I get where that can sound a little concerning. And Nick Freitas, I thought, did a great job explaining the angst. So he said, I say this with all due respect to Donald Trump, when I thought this was a limited strike to go after Maduro, I was willing to defend it. But now that we hear we're going to be running Venezuela, I have some concerns because I've lived at the business end of this kind of foreign policy and it didn't work out well. So So as a Trump supporter, I just want to know, why are we responsible for ensuring a proper transition takes place? How many troops are we dedicating? What do we consider to be a safe, secure, and independent Venezuela? How much blood and treasure are we willing to dedicate? And on and on. And I get these concerns, but I feel like the best person to answer those concerns is Marco Rubio, who I'm now kind of starting to feel like should be the next president.
Oh my God, I absolutely, with 100%.
Really? Okay, good. I'm so glad you think that.
100%. In fact, I am like, I know that like the TPUSA people are all about JD Vance, and I love JD Vance, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to just sheer experience, and I listen, he's the guy. He has to be the guy. He's done the work. He's put in the time. He's been there forever. I had this conversation with my daughter-in-law over break, and she was like, yeah, but JD Vance is slated to be the guy. And I'm like, I don't give a shit. Marco Rubio he's done the work. Like, he actually has been in there in the trenches. He understands how to do all of these different jobs. He should be the guy. He should be the guy.
And he's, you know, we've already heard him say that he will defer to JD Vance if JD Vance wants to make a run for it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I just know that whatever the case is, Rubio has to be involved in the next administration in some capacity. He has to.
And he can't be VP. VP is not good enough for him. It's just not. VP.
It's not.
VP is more of like a figure. No offense to JD, because JD is fantastic. You know how much I love him, but it's more of like a figurehead appointment, a figurehead job. He either needs to stay as Sec of State, or he needs to be president. There's just no other job for him.
I mean, he's already doing all of them. Right. So he can do one more. If they could just be co-presidents, like why isn't that a thing? Why can't we just do that?
I know that would be so amazing if they could make them co-presidents, right? Mm-hmm.
I know. We need to tell you before we move on, because we do have more from Marco to come. We need to tell you about why colostrum is something you should be thinking about in supplementation to your diet.
It's true. Every morning I get up at 4. I let my dogs out. There's a fly in here, you guys. So if I start swatting at things or killing things, you're going to know. I get up at 4. I let my dogs out. I feed them. Then I grab a glass of milk and I put some Cowboy Colostrum in it. That's how I start my day. So if you want to fix your gut in 2026, which is what it does, add colostrum to your daily routine. I take it for gut health, but also it helps with immune health, which is basically, it all ties back to gut health. And then it also aids recovery from exercise, which I haven't done a lot of in the past 2 weeks. And I probably won't do a lot of in the next couple of weeks because of my arm, but I will get there. And I need all the help I can get. And Cowboy Colostrum is like true first day whole colostrum. It has all the sorts of bioactives and immunoglobulins and stuff like that, and growth stuff in it. It's good stuff. It's not processed or stripped down. And they only collect like the surplus colostrum after the baby calves have had their fill. So I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, what about the baby calves? They're okay. I promise they're okay. It's yummy. They have like all different flavors. The stuff that I use, I always put the chocolate in my milk because it tastes like Quick. Remember when you were a kid? Yeah. You used to put Quick. That's exactly what it reminds me of. It is so good. It's amazing. And then it also, it also helps with skin and hair, in addition to the other stuff that I'm doing with skin and hair with Healthy Cells. So it's good stuff. So Cowboy Colostrum is the highest quality bovine colostrum available on the market. It is amazing stuff. It's 100% made in America, 100% American grass-fed cows. Great stuff. And for a limited time, you can get 25% off your order. Just head to cowboycolostrum.com/chicks. Use code CHICKS. 25% off when you use code CHICKS at cowboycolostrum.com/chicks.
That's good stuff, you guys.
Everybody's like, Quick. Yeah, Quick. Remember Quick?
Yeah, Quick. Like with the rabbit. Wasn't there a rabbit?
Yeah, there was a rabbit.
Yeah, there was a rabbit.
Good stuff.
So let's see, where were we? Oh, yeah. There's a picture that the White House also released of Maduro when he was on board the Iwo Jima. So he's blindfolded, he's muffled in terms of what he can hear, and he's hanging on for dear life to a water bottle. So we were very much, as Americans, I feel like we were very much kept up with, we got to see step by step the whole process of getting him here, of him, arriving in New York City, all of it. Like, again, this is the most transparent administration literally ever.
Yeah, but the memes.
Oh my God, the memes are amazing.
It's so great, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a weekend. Also, I would recommend that Trump just not do any of the talking about any of these things. It should all be Marco. Anytime he is pressed by the press with questions, or anytime he's explaining what's going on, there's no one more effective at it than Marco. He was at that same presser, obviously, with Donald Trump. And I loved that he gave Donald Trump appropriate props for just not being all talk. This is a guy who, when he says he's going to do something, you best believe he is going to do it.
Yeah.
The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. And now, if you don't know, now you know. Because this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it.
If you don't know, now you know.
Now you know.
That's right.
And
FAFO.
you know. You don't just know. you know.
FAFO is right. Yeah.
That's exactly right. So, and he made all the rounds on the Sunday talk shows. I think we've got one clip to share from that, which we'll do in a bit. But as expected, the reaction from the left has just been, we're not going to belabor it. It's been absolutely ridiculous.
Stupid.
Oh my God. It's just so dumb. And it's even like Drew Pavlou even said this right here, referring to one tweet, condemning this whole thing. He said, this right here is the reason I joined the right. They hate Trump so much that they end up defending a disgusting, brutal communist dictatorship and elite commissar class that lived like kings while starving millions. Fuck the left. God bless the United States.
Yeah, exactly. My sentiments exactly. Yep. Insane.
And a lot of people were bringing back to light some of Joe Biden's old tweets. Scott Jennings brought this one out where Joe said, Trump talks tough on Venezuela, but admires thugs and dictators like Nicolás Maduro. As president, I will stand with the Venezuelan people and for democracy.
Okay.
How'd that go?
Yeah, I love it. Scott's response was so great. Kind of wild, just how dumb and dishonest he was. Yeah, he was. He wasn't even running the country.
And then remember, anytime there was a military operation or when there was the main military operation under Biden, you remember Afghanistan and what an absolute disaster it was.
Yeah.
And as DC Drano pointed out, he said the media said Lloyd Austin was qualified to be the Secretary of Defense, and he gave us the botched Afghanistan withdrawal and 13 dead troops. The media said Pete Hegseth was unqualified to be the Secretary of War, and he gave us the destruction of the Iranian nuclear program and captured Maduro without a single U.S. casualty. Compare and contrast.
Right. How's that going for you, leftists? And they're just crying about it.
Oh, my God. The reaction has been just
but it's always
out of control.
It's always these people that don't know what socialism is. They're all warm and happy in their United States homes. A lot of them in gated communities where they don't know what it's like to be poor because of a regime. They don't know what it's like to lose everything. They have no idea what it's like to be hungry because they're not.
Eating zoo animals.
Right. I mean, we watch it. I remember talking about this on the radio years ago about Venezuela and how they have fallen from being like one of the world's top economies to where they are now because of socialism. And now these assholes are wanting it in New York City. They voted for it. This is the thing. This is the dichotomy between the left and the right. It's insane. They just don't know. They're so uneducated. And it also, a lot of it goes back to the fact that they don't learn this stuff in school. We're not teaching this stuff in school. These kids, these 20-somethings, and also a lot of women our age who are on the left, it's like they sympathize with these weirdos, these socialist communist weirdos. They think that that's the way,
Yeah, because it's worse than not being taught history. It's that they're given this hate America version of history.
Crazy. It's just absolute insanity is what it is.
Yep. AG, who is always a great follow on Twitter. If you're not following AG, you should. AG Hamilton 29. He said, good time to remind people that the Biden administration also recognized Maduro was not legitimate and a threat to U.S. interests, but they took a very different approach, one that failed. Their answer was to offer sanctions relief in exchange for promises to hold a real election, and that effort emboldened Maduro. He then banned his main opposition from running and stole the election. The Biden administration eventually reversed the sanctions relief without accomplishing anything. Now Maduro sits in a prison cell, which is preferred.
Right. Exactly. Uh-huh. Yep.
He also said there is no war, because I saw a lot of people on Twitter going, Trump's, taking us into war.
Right. Exactly.
Where is it? It was literally 88 minutes long. Okay.
I know. I know. It's crazy.
It's so dumb. He said the people of Venezuela are celebrating. So ask yourself why some people who have nothing to do with Venezuela seem so upset about an illegitimate criminal dictator being brought to justice.
Oh, we know why they're upset. We know exactly why they're upset.
Yeah.
I mean, it's orange. It's to them.
It's orange and bad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Totally.
The oil conversation is very, very interesting. I want you to read this tweet, and I don't remember who it's from. You'll see. But there's a few tweets that we've got about the oil specifically and the rationale for going in and capturing Maduro. Here's Goldie Gamari. Read this one, please.
Oh my God. I just realized something. Trump went after Maduro first to make sure Khomeini and the terrorist Islamic Republic occupying Iran can't escape to Venezuela when the Islamic regime falls and Iran is freed. All of the IRGC's assets, drone factories, and military bases in Venezuela are now in the hands of the United States. God bless America and President Trump. That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And then the oil. So read this one too. This is from the Kobasi letter.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. Venezuela currently has 303 billion barrels of crude oil reserves, which Trump says the U.S. now controls. Oil prices are trading at $57 a barrel, making Venezuela's total reserves worth $17.3 trillion. Even if the U.S. sells this oil for half of the market rate, that's still $8.7 trillion. In other words, in 12 hours, the U.S. has gained control of oil reserves worth more than the entire GDP of all countries in the world, aside from the U.S. and China. That's 4 times larger than the GDP of Japan. Most people do not realize how much the world just changed. Oil markets will react to this news for the first time on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern time. The next few days will be critical. Yeah, I mean, like if oil is an issue here, I'm okay with it.
Well, and it should be used for the benefit of the people in Venezuela. Right. I mean, this is crazy that it's only been used to line the pockets of a few psycho dictators, and while the people starve. So it's not like the United States is going to go in there and like steal it all from the people.
But what's better, Mock, to have Iran and China and Russia handling that?
Exactly.
I mean, these people that are so against this and they're so pissed off about it and butthurt. These are the same people who are like, prices haven't gone down. I'm so upset about this. And I hate paying this price. And it's like, okay, what do you want? It's like, are you ever going to be happy about anything? This was a good move.
Of course it was. Move. And Marjorie Taylor Greene is one of the naysayers, predictably, because now anything that Trump does, she's opposed to. And she's trying to spin it. Exactly. She's trying to spin it like she cares about America first and she cares about costs and we should only be dealing with domestic policy. Bitch, this relates to domestic policy. And the fact that she's so ignorant that she doesn't see it makes me crazy. Tracy Schuchart wrote a great article about this on Substack. If you could read her little excerpt, this explains it perfectly.
What justifies this action from a Pentagon strategic perspective is the convergence of 3 existential threats from America's 3 primary adversaries. China has embedded operational control into critical mineral extraction that feeds weapons manufacturing, Iran has established drone production facilities within strike range of the continental United States. Russia has deployed military advisors and integrated air defense systems in the Caribbean. Venezuela represents the only location where all three adversaries operate simultaneously. The oil is secondary. Breaking Chinese supply chain dominance, eliminating Iranian manufacturing capability, and expelling Russian military presence are primary. But we can't expect Marjorie Taylor Greene to understand that, can we?
Apparently we can't.
No, she's too busy trying to count her pension that we're giving her now.
Yeah, I thought this was a great rationale, a very nice, succinct explanation of the rationale.
It's fantastic. This is strategy.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
And it's global political strategy. This is Trump. I mean, a lot of people like to say, oh, he's playing 4D chess or whatever. However you want to call it, that's what this is. And it is to the benefit of the United States from a national security perspective, of course. Was very curious about how the Daily Wire guys would react to this. Michael Knowles was actually the one that pointed out that this was an 88-minute capture. He said the time between arrival at the compound and complete evacuation from Venezuela was 88 minutes. Insane.
Right. And what they had to do, the things they had to do in 88 minutes, and the fact that everybody is fine, everybody's safe. Remarkable.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And I was most curious to see what Matt Walsh would say, because he tends to be very non-interventionist when it comes to dealing with foreign wars, engaging in foreign stuff. And so I was really, really surprised, and pleasantly so, to see what he tweeted. He said, I'm as reflexively non-interventionist as anyone can possibly be, but Venezuela appears to be a resounding victory and one of the most brilliant military operations in American history. As an unapologetic America chauvinist, I want America to rule over this hemisphere and exert its power for the good of our people. If some shitty little tin pot third world dictator is harming our country or interfering with our national interests, we should do exactly what Trump did to Maduro. Why not? International law is fake and gay. The only international law is that big and powerful countries get to do what they want. It has been that way since the dawn of civilization. It'll always be that way. And we are the most powerful country on the planet. It's about time we started acting like it.
Thank you, Matt Walsh.
Thank you indeed.
Yeah. It's international law is fake and gay. It is.
And once again, John Fetterman on the right side. He tends to be when it comes to this kind of stuff. He said, a larger truth transcends partisan politics. America is the world's force of good, democracy, and order. Absolutely, 100% right.
It's nice to see that there are still some of us that believe that we are the good guys.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Again, Marco made the Sunday rounds, and he was on with Kristen Welker, just explaining what's what in a way that only he can. Here is Marco.
This was not an action that required congressional approval. In fact, it couldn't require congressional approval because this was not an invasion. This is not an extended military operation. This is a very precise operation that involved a couple of hours of action. It was a very delicate operation, too. But this was not an attack on Venezuela. This was a law enforcement function to capture an indicted drug trafficker. And, of course, we needed the Department of War to support it because they do have anti-aircraft missiles that could shoot down those helicopters.
But will you?
We had to take down radars. We had to take down those anti-air elements on the way in and on the way out. And that's what this was limited to.
But will you seek congressional approval for any further action in Venezuela or the region?
Oh my God,
well, we will seek congressional approval for actions that require congressional approval. But otherwise, they will get congressional notification.
Meanwhile,
did
they ask these questions to like every other president that did similar things, just not as cool, you know? I can't with these ladies. I can't.
Oh my God. And what's her name?
Margaret.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't give a damn, Margaret. Yeah.
I don't really care, Margaret.
I don't really care, Margaret. Yeah.
She is out of control. I didn't even use any clips of her, but just know when you go to X and look at her talking to Tom Cotton, to whoever,
to Marco
she
Rubio,
is out of control. Yeah. I mean, to everybody, her face, her meanness, out of control.
Just looks like an idiot.
Also, this was a great point made by Vince Dow, who said, just so we're clear, America and England actually built Venezuela's oil infrastructure. They wouldn't have oil without us. So yes, it actually was ours. Hugo Chavez had no right to seize American assets without our permission, which I thought was a really, really
Very
great point.
Yep.
And then Trump released this tweet, which I absolutely loved.
Venga por mí. Aquí lo espero en Miraflores. No se tarde en llegar, cobarde.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your
So great.
So great.
Yep. So great. I put a similar one.
That.
I put a similar one on our Instagram, and the White House was putting one out. They put one out that was kind of similar. Fantastic.
I love that I love their whole entire social media team.
The best.
So good. I also discovered over the weekend an account that goes by the name Steve Bananen. And I love this account, you guys. I highly recommend that you follow them. This is what he said. Was Maduro a violent dictator? Yes. Did he deserve to fall and be arrested? Yes. Does that mean we should support an armed and illegal intervention by the U.S. against a sovereign country under the excuse of ending such a dictatorship? Yes.
Oh my God. And that word sovereign, like the libs just discovered that was a word this weekend.
Right.
I mean, am I the only one that heard that word about 4,000 times from a liberal? It's a sovereign nation. It's a sovereign nation. Sovereign.
I would love for those same libs to explain what actually makes the nation, and would it have anything to do with borders?
Right. I know. They're sovereign, you guys. Really? Okay.
Oh my God. Now here's an interesting thing in terms of international reaction. First of all, you know where Tucker stands on all of this, right? Tucker is very anti-interventionist as well. And he's, as of late, very pro-Qatar. And so it was very, very interesting to see that Qatar is pissed off about this entire move. They are expressing, quote, deep concern. But I like the fact that this move confirms that the White House and Trump himself is not paying a lick of attention to freaking Tucker. They don't care what Tucker thinks about this. Right. And I like that that's been confirmed. You know what I mean?
Candace, or any of those people.
Yeah.
And I don't think Megyn said anything about this, has she? As of last night, I looked last night. Has she mentioned this at all? It's a huge story.
She only reposted a tweet that roundabout expressed concern about the methods, but hasn't said anything herself specifically.
Don't you find that interesting?
It's par for the course, right? It's exactly what we would expect as we watch her shift, which we'll have more on.
This is like the biggest story of the weekend. I just find that so interesting, but okay. All right.
So the next tweet I wanted to share is from Eitan Fishberger about Qatar. So I want you to read this because I thought this was interesting.
Okay, breaking. Qatar is pissed over Trump's capture of narco-terrorist warlord Nicolás Maduro. The reason is twofold. One, both Venezuela and Qatar maintain deep ties with Iran. Taking Maduro off the board directly damages Tehran's regional and financial networks. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. More interestingly, Doha spent years branding itself as an indispensable mediator between Washington and Caracas. By acting unilaterally, Trump made clear that the U.S. doesn't need Islamist intermediaries in Doha to get results. Strip Qatar of its mediation role and you strip it of much of its global leverage. Qatar wants the United States to need it, but it doesn't, and it never did. So suck it, Qatar. And suck it, Tucker. Suck it. Yeah.
Suck all of it. Every last bowl of it.
We don't need you to be a mediator. We don't need you. We're strong enough on our own. I love this. And that is America first.
Yes.
That is. We don't need Qatar to be our little mediator for divorces and whatnot. We don't need that. Go away, Islamic people. Go away. We don't need it. And I'm not building a house in Qatar. No.
Yeah. can't believe Tucker. Now, meanwhile, while Maduro, the socialist dictator, is extracted, we are now implementing a socialist dictator in New York City. So Zohran Mamdani, who just took office, who was just inaugurated within the last several days, he has decided that his role as mayor of a city is somehow means that he has a voice in international federal policy.
That's cute.
Yeah, that's
really
one of those.
Cute.
That's really
No
cute.
run. Okay.
It was even cuter that he was like, I was briefed this morning on the capture of Maduro and his wife. And then he was like, unilaterally attacking a sovereign nation is an act of war and a violation of international law, blah, blah, blah. It was so ridiculous, though, because nobody briefed him. He literally just opened X like everybody else and found out the same stuff that nobody briefs the mayor of New York City about this.
I hope that you need to, because Mock handles our Twitter and I handle our Instagram. I hope that Mock immediately got on Twitter and said, I was briefed this morning.
I didn't, but I should have.
You should have done that. You should have totally on the U.S. military capture, because you were briefed as much as he was briefed.
Exactly.
That's how briefed he was. Right.
I mean, nobody's calling you Zohran. Nobody gives a crap.
Yeah.
But then he took it a step further. And now that he's been to visit Trump in the White House, I guess he's got his phone number handy. And he decided to call Trump directly to voice his opposition.
It went to voicemail. It went straight to voicemail. You know it did.
I was briefed by my first deputy mayor, my chief of staff, my chief counsel, the police commissioner, as well as other members of my team. I called the president and spoke with him directly to register my opposition to this act and to make clear that it was an opposition based on being opposed to a pursuit of regime change, to the violation of federal and international law, and a desire to see that be consistent each and every day. I registered my opposition, I made it clear, and we left it at that.
We left it at that. Sure, we
did. I bet you did. Okay.
I hope a reporter asks Trump for his side of that call, because you know it'll be hilarious.
Totally. Oh my God. Islamo commie. What a loser.
Joel Berry pointed out the irony that we're liberating Venezuela from a communist lunatic while at the same time electing one in New York. It is pretty wild.
Crazy, isn't it? Here we are.
Mike Davis, friend of the show. Even as much as we fight with him, he is still considered a friend of the show. He had the perfect retort to Zohran. He simply said, "Fuck off, Zohran. You can't do anything about it."
Leave it to me. I had not seen that until right now. That was so great. That was legit the best comeback.
It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good.
That's how you deal with Zohran right there. My favorite. Did you see in his inauguration, he came out with he recited Shahada. I didn't know what that was, but he said that there's no God but Allah, and he did the whole Allah Akbar crap.
Oh my God.
He did all. There's no. Who's gonna tell him? I hope God takes care of that. But can you imagine if a Christian mayor did that? If a Christian mayor got up in front of all the New Yorkers and they were like, Jesus Christ is the savior. Jesus Christ is the way and the only way, which, I mean, that's true. But can you imagine if they actually got up there and did that? Possum Lady would lose her shit.
Oh my God.
She would, her overfilled face would explode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be bad.
But this is the thing. But she is okay with this Islamo commie saying that garbage in front of New York City because she lives there now. She's okay with that. It's like, does she not know what she voted for? And then she claims at the same time to be a feminist and to be for women and for gay people. But yet she's for this guy. The dichotomy, it's staggering to me.
It's pretty incredible. It is incredible. Ari Fleischer, also friend of the show, had an interesting point to make about the fact that Maduro is now languishing in a New York City prison. He said this may be the first test of the NYPD under Mamdani. Maduro will be held at a federal lockup in Manhattan. If crowds gather to protest his capture, which they are, what will Mamdani tell NYPD to do? Protect the building or let the mob control the streets? Pray for New York City, because it could get ugly.
Yeah, I think that he'll do the latter.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that's what he's going to do. Yeah.
And the protests are so freaking organized and paid for. It is.
Totally.
Oh my God, it's so obvious. And so, like, just to give a running tally of where we are now in terms of what Democrats have chosen to defend: the Ayatollah of Iran and his regime, radical Islamic Nigerian terrorists, homicidal Black South Africans, a woman beater from El Salvador, Hamas jihadists, thieving anti-American Somalians, and now Maduro. That's where we are.
Right. It's
incredible.
How can you be a Democrat at this point? How? I mean, and I know people that are still.
Yeah.
It blows me away.
It's so much ignorance. And you can see that ignorance on display thanks to Nate Friedman, who talked to some of the protesters who were like, free Maduro. I mean, if you can imagine, that's what they're saying. And he was like, hey, let's talk about that. These people have no freaking clue, you guys.
Check out that communist flag over there.
What brings you out here today?
I'm organized with the Revolutionary Communists of America. We're out here to say hands off Venezuela. And we unequivocally stand with the people of Venezuela against U.S. imperialist aggression.
Have you
What
talked
do you
to
think
them?
about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets?
What
do you think about the people of Venezuela celebrating on the streets today?
I saw images of Venezuelans being bombed after the U.S. bombed Caracas. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but yeah, I think you should
Can you
definitely
show me the bombings that you're talking about? I didn't see any.
I don't know. I just saw it on Reddit. It was on the front page of.
It must be true.
But what do you think about the people celebrating? The hundreds of thousands of people that are in the streets celebrating.
I have yet to see it. Can you show me that?
Yeah.
Sure. U.S. imperialism.
People celebrating on the streets here. What do you think about that?
I mean, at the end of the day, I stand with the people of Venezuela against
They're
US
happy.
imperialism. The U.S. has no right to bomb the people of Venezuela. The U.S. has no right to kidnap another leader of another.
Celebrating? Why are they celebrating?
I don't know. Do you have a correspondent there who can ask? I'm here demonstrating against. I'm here demonstrating against U.S. imperialism and the U.S. intervention.
Is this AI though? These images of everybody
I don't know. You're the one showing me the video, so let me know. You're showing me the source. I don't know.
I don't think it's AI because it's being published by multiple news organizations. So just what are your thoughts on it?
I'm here protesting U.S. intervention,
we heard you.
imperialism, and U.S. capitalism.
Yeah, I mean, you saying it 14 times doesn't make it okay. You're still
And it doesn't
retard.
mean that he knows what he's even saying.
Right.
He has no idea what he is
None.
saying.
No. And again, I go back to the whole, so many of these kids just, they're clueless and they were not taught real history.
Mm-hmm.
Our public education system is so in trouble, you guys. So dumb. So many of these kids are so dumb.
And it gets worse because the question was asked by a different reporter, if you could trade Trump for Maduro, in other words, if Maduro could be the president of the United States, would that be preferable?
Oh my God. Here we go.
Yeah.
Would you trade Trump for Maduro?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think Trump. I think Maduro was democratically elected.
Probably, yeah. Sure.
More than likely, yes, of course.
If there's a Nicolás Maduro out here who's going to bring us to revolution, I will support that movement.
I would rather have a bus driver in charge than a billionaire, okay? Let's put it that way.
Nicolás Maduro could come and be our president?
Yeah.
Oh, any day. Any day. Look, all the check marks are there. He's not white. Okay, he's a minority.
Oh my God. And then these people were the same people that were hired to do the No Kings protests. Make it make sense, you guys.
You can't.
Make it make sense. Oh my God. They vote. They vote. These people vote. Like first day back and my blood pressure. It's like serenity now.
I know, right?
Okay.
So one thing we haven't heard yet in our show, one thing we haven't covered yet is how this can be blamed on Israel.
Well, leave it to Candace, right?
Leave it to Candace, you guys. It's so freaking predictable. So here's what she said. Venezuela has been, quote, liberated like Syria, Afghanistan, and Iraq were liberated. The CIA has staged another hostile takeover of a country at the behest of global psychopaths. That's it. Yeah. That's what is happening always everywhere. Zionists cheer every regime change. There has never been a single regime change that Zionists have not applauded because it means they get to steal land, oil, and other resources.
Oh, I can't. Listen, after she like celebrated her podcast doing so well at the beginning of the year, and I'm so delighted that Charlie's death worked out so well for her.
Yeah.
And that she's like dancing on his grave and celebrating her success because of her friend's death. I can't. She's a demon, man. I'm so over her crap. Like I had 2 weeks to just kind of calm down with all of this stuff and absorb things and just sit with it for 2 weeks. She's a demon.
Oh, and we've got proof of that coming up later in the show. So don't think that you're escaping her because we're not. Mm-mm. She's still on a tear. Yeah. Konstantin Kaizen saw this tweet, almost couldn't believe it, retweeted it, and said I was going to make a joke about how these retards will claim Venezuela operation is Israel's fault, but they're actually legit claiming it's Israel's fault.
Of course. And her drone followers, her lobotomized followers, yes, it's got to be Israel.
It's just unreal.
And of course, to Konstantin, they're going to say $7,000.
Right. It's so predictable.
It is predictable at this point.
An interesting twist to this story and what is going to happen in the courtroom in New York City, even yet today, is that apparently the judge that has been assigned to this case is a 92-year-old Clinton appointee. This is the same guy who refused to move Trump's hush money case from the state to federal court. And he also blocked the Trump administration's use of the Alien Enemies Act of 1798 to deport Venezuelan gang members. So we'll see how this goes.
How is a 92-year-old still doing this? What is going on, you guys? 92.
I do not want to be working in any capacity when I am 92.
What is wrong with these people? Go spend time with your family, Alvin. Scoot on over in your Depends and pick up a grandkid. What is wrong with these people?
I don't know. I don't get it at all. But
Lord.
We'll see what happens. And then lastly, before we move on to other news, Katie Hopkins, she apparently, I know she's so great. She apparently has herself a little bit of a crush on Pete Hegseth, as you will be able to see from this video.
There you are, darlings. Can I just say, Pete Hegseth, 160 pounds of pure American beef tattooed to the bone in a tightly fitted suit, talking about grits and glory and guts and gallantry. I mean, when you get out of church today, ladies, and gentlemen for that matter, sack your therapist. Get naked, cover yourself in olive oil, attach a clothes peg to each nipple, and just get the Department of War on single track shuffle. It's going to see me through 2026.
Absolutely love her. I do.
I know. She's so funny.
She's great.
So funny. Mm-hmm. All right. Now we're going to move on to some other news that is related to what we've talked about with Zohran Mamdani. There were some inaugurations that have occurred over the last couple of weeks that are seriously problematic. One of them being this whack job, Katie Wilson, who is now the mayor of Seattle, Washington. She's 43. She relies on her parents for financial support.
God, okay.
And has absolutely no accomplishments to speak of. She didn't start earning a regular income until her late 30s. Now she is on the taxpayer dole. And here's a little bit of her acceptance speech or whatever during her inauguration.
I had the honor of being noticed by the President of the United States, who called me a very, very liberal / communist mayor. It's
weird flex.
It's nice to feel seen.
It's a weird flex. It's a really
It
weird
is a
flex.
weird flex.
So she's basically a female Bernie Sanders is what she is, because he didn't have a job until he was 40. He was living in his parents' basement, and then we've paid him ever since. Congrats. Weird flex.
And then back in the summer, we played video of this woman. I don't know how to say her first name. Coley Vang. She's now the mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota. And back in June, we played the video of her saying that I am illegal in this country. My parents are illegal here in this country. How she is allowed to be mayor is anyone's guess.
I don't
But
get
that
it.
is where we are right now.
Do we not vet these things? Like, is anybody checking? I feel like that's, you can't get a driver's license where, at least where I live, without like 18 forms of identification. Like, we've been turned away in the state of Texas if you don't bring like all these different things, like proof of your firstborn child. You have to bring all of this stuff. And this woman is in office as the mayor of St. Paul, Minnesota, and she's illegal. How does this happen? How does this even happen? Somebody's gonna have to explain this to me.
I wish I could.
All right.
And then there's an interesting thing going on in North Carolina. There is some radical Islamic weirdo who is a Democrat, but is running unopposed as a Republican in North Carolina's Senate District 22. This is what this woman looks like. She has a lifelong Democrat voting record. She has been voting Democrat since 2008, running as a Republican, you guys.
Oh my God.
This is how they take things over.
Republicans,
like this.
Like, what are you doing in North Carolina? What are you doing?
I don't know, man.
Like,
This
what
is
is
bad.
the GOP in North Carolina? What the hell are you doing? Put a dog against her. In fact, that would be awesome if they did that. Like, find a golden retriever to run against her.
At least you would see its face.
Right. I can't.
I know. It's ridiculous. And then speaking of Zohran, he's, of course, appointing all kinds of people to his little cabinet. One of those people being his chief counsel, who is Ramzi Qassem, who is the very guy that represented Mahmoud Khalil. So this is a guy that returned to America from the Middle East in 2001 because he was inspired by 9/11 to defend an Al-Qaeda terrorist.
I can't.
That is who we have as chief counsel in New York City.
Well,
and rightly, city council member Palladino, who we adore, she had words to say about this. And what she said is, less than 25 years after thousands of New Yorkers were killed on 9/11, the chief counsel is going to be an Islamist lawyer who came to this country after 9/11 specifically to defend the very Al-Qaeda terrorists we were fighting against.
Unbelievable.
The fact that our immigration system post 9/11 even allowed him to step foot into this country is a monumental failure. Disgraceful isn't big enough word for what's happening. The federal government must get a lot more involved in New York. We cannot allow these people to go unchecked.
Yeah, it only took what, 24 years for them to never forget or to forget.
Oh my God, it's so awful.
What are you doing? Like, what are we doing?
It's not even just as bad as the city. Governor Hochul is now recognizing like National Muslim Appreciation Month and is lighting the buildings green in honor of Muslim American Heritage Month.
Yes.
And Vicky Palladino again was like, the Twin Towers were unable to be lit green tonight.
Oh my God.
I mean,
I
can't.
You guys, we're becoming the UK. If you cannot see it, I cannot help you.
Yeah, it's bad. And then Zohran, during his inauguration, you alluded to parts of his speech. It was absolutely crazy. Like any moderation that any kind of moderation of tone that he tried to take during the campaign, which wasn't much, but he was trying to appeal to everyone. It's all gone. Like during his speech, he made it very clear that he plans to govern as a democratic socialist. Here he is on that.
I was elected as a democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist. I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical.
This clip, though, is the one that got the most attention because he says the quiet part.
We will
out
replace
loud.
the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism.
I mean, that is the most anti-American bullcrap.
Oh
that
my
I've heard.
God.
But they voted for it. They voted for it. We don't believe in that crap, you Islamo-commie. That's not American. That is just, it's simply anti-American, this guy. And I cannot believe New York City is embracing this. I just can't believe it.
I know. It's so sad. I mean, good luck, New York City, because you're going to need it. He went on to say that he plans to govern expansively.
Oh my God.
Beginning today, we will govern expansively and audaciously.
And AOC and Bernie, of course, were all cheering, like super smiley about this whole thing. AOC spoke, making sure to point out what is apparently the most important part of his new mayorship. Here's what she said.
Zohran Mamdani will be the first Muslim mayor of our great city.
Why do we care? Why do we care about this, except that it's a bad thing?
Yeah, they care. They care. And this is just the start.
Yeah.
If it can happen in New York City, it can happen all over, and it is happening all over. So people think, oh, it's just we can keep it contained there. It will not stay contained. We have got to fight this. I'm going to fight it. I know you are. I don't care if people call me names. You can call me an Islamophobe or whatever. I don't care. Because Islam is incompatible with the West. It's incompatible with America. He is incompatible with New York City, and his beliefs are incompatible with New York City, and they're incompatible with America. Period.
And it's always, the elites are never harmed by their own policies. It's just the regular people. And there was a big fuss made over his wife's shoe wear or footwear. She was wearing $630 boots to his swearing in ceremony. They're hideous, but I mean, this is what socialism is, right? It's all the goodies for the elites, all the best of everything for the elites and those in charge, and nothing for the peasants. That's how it always is. Case in point, Venezuela.
Hello.
Hello.
They can't see it, Mock. They can't.
I know. It's unbelievable. And then there was the moment that no one in the mainstream media bothered to notice, but of course, sleuths on X were very quick to point out, rightly so, that Zohran Mamdani did the exact same hand signal that Elon Musk did, that the entire world exploded over, which was this Nazi salute. And AOC, somebody put together AOC's comments about Elon, like juxtaposed with Mamdani doing the same exact thing. And here is what that looked like.
If you're cool and want to defend the Sig Heils and the Nazi salutes, all the, whatever you want to do, that's on you. I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm not with the Nazis. How about that?
That's what she said about Elon.
Except for she is, because that guy hates Jews. So
right. There is that detail as well.
Right. There's that. So you're a liar, AOC.
Yeah. And then there was the most ridiculous staged first day on the job video that Zohran's team put out. So they show him like coming out of his, I don't know, like apartment building or wherever it is that he's leaving to go to work from. And he's headed straight for like one of those big fancy SUVs that has all the top security. And you can see that it has been fully scripted that he's to walk up to the guy holding the door open for him and tap him and be like, no, I'm going to take the subway. And it is so freaking staged. You guys watch.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. When are you moving in? To Gracie.
Come on.
My God, what a douche. Okay, right. Like he takes the subway.
And there he is on the subway, talking, shaking hands.
I hope some guy takes a piss like right in front of him, and there's some drug addict like shooting up. Give me a break. It is cringe,
It was pathetic. Oh my God, so pathetic. By now, everyone has heard the name Nick Shirley. If you haven't, then you have really taken a break from the news, because Nick Shirley made so much news. This 23-year-old independent journalist fully exposed the fraud that has been taking place in Minnesota, and specifically around not just daycares and childcare centers, but also home health agencies. So first, you're just going to see a little snippet from a 45-minute video that is unbelievable, and that if you haven't watched yet, you need to watch in its entirety. This will just give you the gist about the Quality Learing Center.
Here in Minnesota, massive fraud is taking place within the government and the Somali population. Here, this building alone, Quality Learning Center, is a daycare, yet they spelled learning wrong, and they said leering. This daycare alone in 2025 has received $1.9 million from the government. And the strange things about these childcare centers is there's no one here right now. It's midday on a weekday. If you were to try to go inside, it's completely closed and the windows are all blacked out. No one's working. Midday, children should be in here, and this place is licensed for 99 children, and this is the outside. There's no windows, no nothing. And like I said, they literally spelt the word wrong on their sign. This is open and blatant fraud taking place here inside of Minnesota. The government is complicit with this, and this is just one of the hundreds of child daycare centers here inside of Minneapolis being ran by the Somali population. It's sad that it's happening here in Minnesota, and it stinks that it's happening and it's being labeled on the Somali population. However, that's just the facts of what's happening here inside of Minnesota. $1.9 million for this daycare center that can't even spell learning right.
This kid, he's the embodiment of everything that's good in America. Honestly, he is. This kid, 23 years old, raised in Utah, graduated high school in 2020, no college, no formal journalism training at all. He has like 1 million subs on YouTube, and then like another 1 million on like Insta and X. Okay. So he started doing videos when he was like in 8th grade, this kid. He did one where he traveled alone in New York at age 16 without his parents' knowledge. Okay. Over the years, he started shifting to like street interviews, social commentary. He got more political investigative, and now he's an independent journalist, right? He does it the way it should be done, right? And in late 2021, he paused for a 2-year mission for the Church of LDS. So he's a Christian, right? He did missionary work in like, I think Chile, something like that. But he is the real deal. This is what journalism is. And this is why journalists don't like him. Is because
they're so mad. They're
right?
big
Because
mad.
they're the ones who go to these schools, like these Ivy League schools, and they can't do what they don't do what he's doing, which is journalism. Yeah, we need to pray for his safety because he's been given death threats and everything. This kid I love this kid.
Yeah, he's got moxie, as they say.
Right.
And, it has spurred a lot of other investigative reports to go looking in Minneapolis to see, or Minnesota as a whole, to see what else is going on. So this isn't just childcare. This is also home health care. News Nation did a story about that, a little bit of which you can see right here.
This building right behind me has 22 different home and community-based healthcare companies registered in the building. It's only 4 floors. I walked in there yesterday trying to find a number of them. Many of them appear to be just window fronts, door fronts, with nobody behind. So same story, different location. We're here in St. Paul at this building, which looks like a warehouse or a dilapidated old building. Inside this building, there are 60 registered home and community health care organizations inside this one building. We're here in Northeast Minneapolis, and we're at a building that I believe is on the radar of authorities. They have questions about it. A lot of the businesses in here are home health care businesses. Of the total businesses, there's 37. 17 of them are home health care businesses.
Oh my God.
It's such bullshit.
It's a total grift. It's a total scam and a grift. with
and
our
theft.
money.
It's theft.
It is.
It's disgusting.
So many people need to be arrested. And do we get our money back? Do people of Minnesota get their money back? This is the thing. So many people I saw online over the weekend, rightly so, this past week, are just like, okay, can I just not pay my taxes? Can we just not pay taxes? Because I am so sick of this shit. I'm so sick of the fraud. If I don't pay $1 in my federal taxes, I go to jail. And these people are just like fraud left and right. Nothing happens. Tim Walz walking around. It's like people are fed up with this stuff. And rightly so. We are fed up.
But what's amazing is the people, again, on the left who are defending the Somali population.
Right.
And I'm like, you guys, they're stealing from you too. Like, how are you not mad? Why are you forgiving them for this?
Mark, they did this during Doge.
Yeah, exactly. It's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing. But the difference was the government was doing it, but it's the same thing. It's like the government doesn't care. They don't care about the American people and where the money goes. It's our money. It's our money. It's kind of like, people will get so mad because, there's fraud here and there's fraud there. And people are saying, hey, we're going to run out of Social Security. Are you ever going to run out of welfare? No one ever talks about that.
Well, and that Quality Learing Center, oh my God, the memes about it were absolutely hysterical. There was a guy that came out, some QC, like quality control guy that apparently works for that center. One of the Somalis came out and was like, oh, I mean, all of our records have been stolen. So we can't prove that we're like on the up and up right now because just the records that relate to incorporating this business have mysteriously been stolen. And as a very astute, I think, TikToker found out, she was like, wait a minute, that guy looks familiar.
Am I going crazy, or is this the same guy? Is the manager of the infamous Learning Center in Minneapolis also one of the guys that was dancing in the back of Mayor Jacob Frey's election victory video, the one that went super viral, where he thanks his constituents in Somali for re-electing him last month? Ibrahim Ali claims to be the manager of the Quality Learing Center and says that there is no fraud going on whatsoever there. He very well may just have a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in. Or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going. But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
He does.
A certain message about a certain group. I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going...
Jacob Fry.
I mean, hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawad Jacob Fry.
Oh my
God. Minneapolis.
And the cherry on top is that Governor Tim Walz, after being radio silent, finally comes out and puts out a statement days later, just a few minutes ago. And what does he do? He blames Trump. Trump keeps letting fraudsters out of prison. I'm curious, do you guys think this is the same guy?
Okay.
Because if I was the DOJ, I would be getting to know Ibrahim very
Same
well
guy.
right now.
It's the same guy. It's total same guy. And these guys,
unreal.
Can you believe that Walz turns around and blames Trump?
I do believe it.
It is peak 2026 at this point. that they can blame Trump for stealing money from the taxpayers. They're going to turn around and they're going to blame Trump for this. Oh my God. I can't. It's just, when you thought it couldn't get any crazier.
Well, and then, there were a lot of people in Congress and a lot of people in the cabinet who were coming out and saying what Nick Shirley has, demonstrated is appalling, and we're totally looking into this and we're all over it. And a lot of people, rightly so, were like, seriously, stop tweeting, though, and do something. Like, take some action, because this cannot stand. And I think it was the deputy HHS or DHS, somebody or other, put out a tweet saying, guess what? We have halted all spending on these programs until such time as these people can prove that the funds are being spent legitimately. And Stephanie Tyler was like, quick question, why the fuck wasn't this already the deal? Which was so absolutely right. How do you get money without proving that it is being spent legitimately?
Oh my, this is our government.
What in the world?
I feel like Elon exposed that so many times, time and time again. These people were getting money without ever having to account for it. There was no accounting.
Even...
That's ridiculous. They could just take the money. This is why we are in so much debt. It's because of this. And then, God forbid, you ask about it. You ask for an accounting, and oh my God, you're a terrible person.
Right.
The left is like, you can't ask for that. That's terrible.
You can't audit us. What
Why
are
would you?
What are you talking about?
Auditing is bad. Oh my God, that's how businesses are run. You morons. This is why we are in so much debt, because we are a constant ATM for these people. That's all we are, is an ATM. That's all they see us as. And it never stops. And people aren't held accountable. We've got to start holding these people accountable. Honestly, I wish that it will never happen, okay, because the left exists. But if it was just right, we could at least say, you know what? None of us are going to pay our taxes in April.
Yeah.
And then we'll see what they do. Because screw you. We fought a revolution over a 3% T-tax.
Yep.
What is wrong with us?
Everything has gotten so bureaucratic, so filled with red tape. It's out of control. And this is what Doge was supposed to do. But then everybody fought Doge because I guess they wanted to pay more in taxes to fraud and waste and abuse of, criminals. Right. I will never understand that, but that's where we are. Also, Libs of TikTok, which of course is a huge prominent account on X. They were talking about, I mean, it's run by one woman, but she was talking a lot about Nick Shirley and all the videos. Of course, everybody was. But she got the attention of the Somalian embassy. And you guys, the funniest thing happened. They direct messaged her from Serbia and said, stop laying about Somalia. And she was just stop stealing our money.
The Somalians are really good at spelling, aren't they? They really are. Great. It's like their strong point, that and stealing.
But see, the left is so concerned once again about the wrong side of the argument. Now they're all like, oh my gosh, poor Somalia, poor Somalians, right? Like Mara Gay from the New York Times was on one of the news shows talking about this fiasco. And here was the point that she made. This is unbelievable.
But of course, the other factor here is that because it looks like the Somali population in Minnesota, the Somali immigrant population may have been involved in some way, those people are being scapegoated. And that community is being scapegoated in a way that certainly serves the far right.
Well, maybe they shouldn't steal. There's a suggestion.
Here's a thought.
Maybe they shouldn't be complete thieves. Come in here and suck off the American taxpayer, and then we won't scapegoat them, lady. What?
And then Jessica, I know. And then Jessica Tarlov couldn't even give Nick Shirley credit. This is just a 6-second clip, but you'll get the gist of what she was saying. She was just dumbfounded that he was journalisming. Right. And here's what she said.
Nick Shirley's reporting, there's no way that this kid walking around uncovered $100 million worth of fraud on him.
Oh,
actually,
really?
Though, he did.
He did, Jessica. Yeah, and on your side of the aisle, that couldn't happen. But on our side, it could. Jessica, there's no way. God.
By the way, you mentioned that Nick has also done man on the street interviews, and that is true. He actually was, there's video of him talking to protesters about allegiance. And I thought this was really, really interesting considering that some of the protesters are American-born citizens. Here's what they had to say.
Now you have all these Islam men yelling Allah Akbar. I have a question for you guys. If America were to get in a war with a country like Iraq, who would you guys defend, America or Iraq?
We won't get in a war. That's not permissible for us. But at the same time,
who would you defend first?
We would support our brothers in Iraq. That's the only way.
So you wouldn't defend America?
We would not defend America.
But you're American.
But at the same time, listen. At the same time, America is our country because we were born here. But in our Islamic book, we're not allowed to fight with people that are against our religion. So we just take up the jail time.
So you would
That's what we do.
So you would not defend America?
I would go to jail instead of fighting for America.
Okay.
This is why this shirt is so perfect.
Right.
Support the country you live in or live in the country you support.
Right. Get the F out. Get
God.
the F out. I'm so sick of this crap. I really
Oh my
am.
God.
And that people are like, how do we fight against it? You talk about it. You just say that you're sick of it. You talk about it, and then you share these clips with people.
Yes.
Because so many people are like, they're peaceful. No, they're not. They want you to die. They want Jews to die, and they want Christians to die. And you need to quit being quiet about it because you're afraid of being called something. So just don't be quiet about it.
I feel like if there ever needs to be a draft, God forbid, they should literally choose all of the Muslim people first. The people that think, oh, our Sharia law doesn't allow us to join the military. Sorry.
Bye.
The Constitution trumps that. Our laws trump that.
Yeah.
So
if you don't want to, then GTFO. Bye.
Yeah.
Deported.
Ugh.
Bye.
All right. Moving on. It is time to get into some Candace, some Megyn, some right-wing influencer drama. Okay, so we left off on our last Friday show before Christmas break with an absolutely phenomenal speech that was given by Ben Shapiro at AmFest. You guys remember it. If you don't remember it, you're going to have to go and look at that episode and watch the clips that we played, or better yet, even watch his entire speech, because in it, he said that the attacks that Candace has levied against Erica and TPUSA are just horrific. I mean, he really called her out. It was beautiful the way that he called her out.
Really good.
Beautiful. And on her last show before the Christmas break, she addressed him using an F-bomb even, which is not typical for her, but she was vicious.
Well, at least not
and
on the air. At least not. I mean, we don't know.
Well,
how
yeah,
she is
that's
off
true.
The air. She may be, because I have a feeling she probably does a lot of stuff off the air that she doesn't do on the air.
That's probably right. But it was incredible watching how vicious she was in her response to him. Here's just a little piece.
I am done with it. This one is so fully off of the mother effing plantation. Truly, Ben Shapiro, fuck you and the midget horse that you rode in on.
Oh.
And I say that on behalf of the world.
Okay.
No, you don't.
You're going to
No,
get
I shouldn't speak for me.
applauded by Konstantin Kisin and Andrew Christ is King Clavin and all of the people, the men who have to keep applauding what you do like you're a 4-year-old to make you feel good. But the rest of the world can't stand you. It's embarrassing, really, Ben. It's truly, honestly embarrassing.
No.
Why are you not embarrassed to be alive? I don't understand it.
I'm not
Embarrassed to be alive?
Is it just me, or in that clip, does it look like she's wearing a burqa?
I posted that on Twitter like 2 weeks ago, and I said, you guys, this is jarring, like how
It's
much
weird.
it looks like she's in a hijab. It's so
Right?
weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry, with hijab. I can't keep them straight. Whatever that crap is that makes her look Islamic. It
was super, super jarring.
Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? I had to do a double take.
I know. And every time I would see clips from that show, I would just be like, what's happening?
And she doesn't
But yeah,
speak
it's
for
just her
me.
hair.
Quit speaking for other people. Stop doing that.
I know. So Konstantin saw that clip and he tweeted, I would like to thank Candace Owens for the shout out in her latest rant. Good opportunity to remind you that she challenged me to a debate once. When I accepted, she chickened out. She is a good example of the power of charisma, unconstrained by intellect. All bark, no brain.
That would have been a great debate to see. I would have paid to see that.
Oh my God, it would have been so good.
That would have been beautiful.
So good. And because we're on the topic of Islam and how it is incompatible with the West, here is what she tweeted during the Christmas break. And this, like, it kind of came out of nowhere, but she said, no matter how hard the GOP tries to make radical Islam happen, the base doesn't care about it.
Oh my God.
We're way more concerned about Israel. Once again, speaking for people she has no business speaking for.
Okay.
You can deny reality and scream about Tucker, but the party can no longer be governed by those who refuse to acknowledge the Zionist elephant in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And Banshee said, there it is. We all knew this was coming.
Yep.
But she's wrong, because there was a poll that came out at TPUSA during AmFest, and the attendees were asked, what is the number one threat to the United States? And radical Islam was listed as the number one threat. Of course, people care about it. People who pay attention care.
Well, her base, I don't think, are conservatives anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I think a lot of her base is just like people who are liberals who are really excited to hear all the things that she has to say that are against conservatives. I think that her base has changed. It's just changed over the past couple of years because she's changed. I mean, that's what's so weird about a lot of these people. A lot of the people that I used to love, they have a total lack of moral clarity now. And there's no continuity or consistency to what they've been saying over the past couple of years. You look at clips of like Tucker and her over the past 7 to 10 years, they've changed.
Completely transformed.
They've completely transformed. And you can look at us. We've been doing this 17 years. We were talking about that this morning in pre-show about how we're going to be in our 17th year. It's a long freaking time, you guys. I mean, it's longer. Well, it's just almost as long as my marriage. And so it's a long time. She and I have been together for, I mean, seriously, it's one of the longest relationships I've ever had. Definitely the longest job I've ever had. And so we've been doing this a really long time. You look at stuff that we did back in, 2009, 2010, when we first started, we have never wavered on this. On
values.
On values. The things that we have talked about it in the same exact way. We have been very consistent. So many of these big pundits have changed.
Yeah.
Why have they changed? What is it?
And why does it feel so sudden?
It does in the past, literally very sudden. Like I'm talking in the past year and a half. These people have done a complete 180 and it's weird. It's weird.
It's super weird. And Tucker's one of the weirdest. He did an interview where he was asked about this very poll coming out of AmFest. And he very conveniently tries to suggest that he doesn't know anybody that has been a victim of radical Islam in the United States in the past 24 years.
Oh, crying out loud.
But it's such a lie. I mean, that's such an just overt lie, but don't take it from me. Listen to it come out of his own face.
TPUSA did a poll during AmFest, or I guess it was after AmFest, and they asked the audience, what they considered to be the greatest threat to America. And they did put radical Islam at number one. I'm wondering where you think those sentiments are coming from. I mean, I've heard you say before that this is an op and that we all know which foreign government it's actually coming from. Which government is it? And can you explain how that operation works? How is it, kind of lured into those?
From the Israeli government and its many defenders and informal employees in the United States, of course. And I guess I would just say if that was actually, I don't know how people responded to the poll. I don't know who answered it, but, I believe in measuring reality a little more empirically. And, I don't know anyone in the United States in the last 24 years who's been killed by radical Islam.
He apparently doesn't remember one of his own employees at the Daily Caller who was beheaded on video by ISIS. I guess that doesn't count to him.
Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, you look at clips of him 7 years ago talking about Venezuela and socialism, Hamas, people like that. He's completely singing a different tune now. Why? I asked the question why. And I wonder why people I'll just say it. I wonder why people like Megyn aren't asking that question why.
Yeah.
She's a journalist. That's her. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a person. I'm just a mom. We're just chicks
commentators.
On the right. Right. We're just the chicks on the right. You know what I mean? And I have the question of why is there such a big change here? You think that journalists would be asking that question because that is what they're supposed to do. There's a dichotomy here that's weird. I just find it interesting that more people aren't asking that question. It's weird.
And the transformation, you said it, like the transformation has really been startling. There's a clip that we've got of Candace talking with Gad Saad. This was obviously a long time ago, and he condemns her totally now, which everybody normal should. But here is what she said about radical Islam back when she was normal.
Possibility for Islam to coexist in the West. Do you think that's feasible? I'm not talking about individual Muslims who are lovely and peaceful and all of the rest of the preface stuff that we have to say before we talk about this. But what are your views on Islam?
How's it going in the UK? Those are my views. Okay, they have different views than us. Their views are that Western civilization is corrupted and awful, and it doesn't follow their code of ethics. It doesn't work. You cannot say that you can coexist peacefully. What's happening in the UK is the greatest example. What's happening in Europe? There's a European crisis going on right now. Okay.
It can't be that long ago. She's not been around that long, Mock. We've been doing this 17 years. She's not. She was around 10-ish years ago. It can't be that long ago that she made those comments. I don't know when.
No, I don't even think it was 10 years. No, I don't. But I don't even think it was 10 years ago.
Right.
I mean, how can you turn that complete opposite? Yeah. And now she's like, this is an op, like radical Islam is an op, and it's an Israeli op, no less.
I can't believe that people on the right are talking about it. We've been talking about it for 17 years.
And you used to.
Right. So this this is the thing. And then we actually have her people coming after us saying $7,000. What is she getting paid? What is Tucker getting paid to change their minds? I want to know that. It's crazy. Why is it that this is so hard to see? Some of us have not changed. Some of us have.
And I can guarantee you that if he were alive today, Charlie Kirk would be sounding the alarm bells because that Hamptons retreat that just took place over the summer was about saving the West from Islam. He tweeted famously just this past June that Islam is not compatible with Western civilization. He knew it. He knew it.
Right. He totally did. Yep.
So we're not going to belabor AmFest. If you missed, there's some great Nicki Minaj clips. There's a lot of great speakers that you can go back and listen to if you missed it. But one of the people that I do want to highlight, because this is the kind of stuff that gives me pause about JD Vance. He wants to straddle the middle of the fence, right? Like he will not take a side on this infighting, which you have to. Like, I don't think you can't just hope to play both sides. It just doesn't work that way.
You know who would? You know who would? Marco Rubio.
Exactly. That's exactly right. He would absolutely take a stand.
Right.
But here is a little bit of what JD said about the infighting at AmFest.
There were people.
Sorry, this is not, I don't think, is this an AmFest? This might be from a different discussion, but you're going to hear clips from both.
When I remember this criticism of the President of the United States, I just raised it in the context of a conversation that I had with Charlie. I remember when people said that the President of the United States was going to get us into a multi-100,000 troop regime change war for Israel. This was 4 months ago. This was 6 months ago. Now, the people who accuse the President of the United States of wanting to get us into a regime change war for Israel, I wonder if they stepped back and said, you know what, we were wrong about that. Because the President of the United States did not want to get us into a regime change war for any other country. He wanted to knock out a nuclear facility and get everybody back home, and that's exactly what he did.
Which is that was unrelated to the infighting, but it was super interesting to hear him say that when Tucker is clearly the person. Tucker, Dave Smith, all those people were like, Glenn Greenwald was another. They were they were just sure that we were going to be in this long, protracted war with Iran.
And doesn't
he knows that?
And doesn't his son work with JD Vance?
Yeah, he's like his chief of staff, I think. So but he won't call it out, and that's my point, right? Which leads us into this AmFest clip, and he tries to explain why he won't call it out, and here's his rationale.
So if you love America, if you want all of us to be richer, stronger, safer, and prouder, you have a home on this team. I didn't bring a list of conservatives to denounce or to deplatform, and I don't really care if some people out there, I'm sure we'll have the fake news media, denounce me after this speech. But let me just say, the best way to honor Charlie is that none of us here should be doing something after Charlie's death that he himself refused to do in life. He invited all of us here.
Not Nick Fuentes.
He didn't. You're absolutely right. He didn't. So I don't like these people speaking for Charlie when he's dead. Everybody's doing too much of that. I don't like it. It's weird to me. He's not around to say whether or not. All you can do is look at like tweets that he put out, and
you could play his own words for sure.
But that's it. Because what he would be doing now, listen, everything's changed because of his death. And so many people are trying to, get spots and do things and get sound bites because of his death, which is also weird. But and so much has happened, in the past, however many months since he passed away. But I don't know. I don't want to guess what he would think, other than the fact that I know that he knew that Islam was a threat and it was incompatible with Western civilization. He said that numerous times. And so I think it's weird when people say otherwise, because it's disingenuous.
Well, and Nick Fuentes is a great example of someone who's been absolutely horrific to JD Vance and his wife. And so he did finally respond about that specifically in a different interview, which there's no soundbite of it, but I can show you the quote in just a second. But just to give you an idea that there were a lot of speakers at AmFest who kind of took that same tone. Don Trump Jr. was also another person who was like, we just need to love everybody. Here's essentially what he said.
The real enemy? It's not Steve Bannon or Tucker Carlson or Ben Shapiro. It's the radical left that murdered Charlie and celebrated it on a daily basis.
Which, of course, that's true. But there still needs to be some freaking standards in our movement.
Right. It is true. And we need to be more unified. And I absolutely agree with that. But I also agree. Listen, I think that a lot of these like podcasters, some of these like really high end podcasts, because we're not that. You and I are not that. I think a lot of the big names, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, and maybe I shouldn't say it, but good. But it's a new year and I don't give a crap. I think a lot of them are really out of touch. I think a lot of them are really out of touch with regular people. And you and I are still regular people.
Right.
So it's different for us because I look at some of these, like pundits who say things and they do things and they claim to, but I know that they don't live amongst the regular people.
Right.
They don't live in regular towns. They don't do regular things. They have drivers and chefs and nannies and all this. And they're not like, oh my God, I got to save for my kids' education. I got to do this. They're not living real lives. And so sometimes I just look at them and I'm like, you have no idea what it's like to be a real person. And so I get a little sick of them. And we've never fit in with a lot of those people. And I'm okay with that. I think there's a reason that we don't. I think that's why it sets us apart. I know it's a little bit off subject, but I think sometimes a lot of these people who are out there and they're claiming to, speak for other people, it pisses me off because I'm like, you don't even know who the people are, who the base is. It's like the base is regular people who are going to work every day, who have kitchen table issues, granted, everybody should get along, but they're pissed off for different reasons than what you think they're pissed off about. And they don't know because they're not real people.
But I would think JD is very well aware of what this infighting is all about.
Maybe.
And for him to just ignore it, but then in an interview also say, quote, let me be clear, anyone who attacks my wife, whether their name is Jen Psaki or Nick Fuentes, can eat shit. That's my official policy as VP of the United States. Why didn't he say that on the stage then? Like what? And I think the problem is that he wants to appeal to everyone, so he's appealing to no one in the process, right?
Agreed.
Like
right.
I think that's a huge problem. And I think even CNN is figuring it out. Like JD Vance tries to have it both ways on Nick Fuentes and anti-Semitism. It's absolutely an accurate headline. 100%.
You can't do it. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. You can't, we've got to stop doing that. And you can't appease it. You cannot please everybody.
Yeah.
You just can't. And I think he's trying to play all this. I don't think Marco does that. I don't
think he does either.
He gets up there, he says the things, he knows right from wrong. And he's like, and if you don't like it, tough.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that. Now, granted, he's been in the hot tub for a really long time.
Yeah, that's true.
He still kind of understands what regular, normal people are dealing with. He gets it. And he still knows right from wrong. And I appreciate that. That's why I'm leaning towards him. I'm just leaning because because he doesn't pussyfoot around. We don't need pussyfooting.
We don't. And especially when it comes to some of these ideological, value-centered ideals that are supposed to represent conservatism. Nick Fuentes and his brand and anti-Semitism and all those things are totally antithetical to what conservatism is supposed to be about. And people in positions of leadership need to take that stand. Ami Kozak, our friend, said it perfectly. I want you to read his tweet because he was affected by these same things at AmFest, and here's what he wrote.
It's frustrating to be told that standing up to racist, bigots, anti-Semites, nefarious liars and manipulators and criticizing those that not only refuse to stand up to them, but mainstream them is somehow subjecting people to a purity test. Standing on principle and criticizing bad ideas is exactly what Charlie did. It's what conservatism demands, defending values and principles over blind loyalty to a collective cause, movement, team, or figure. Yes. And yet we're being told by the same people who supposedly encourage debate and criticism and claim to defend values and principles that calling out harmful, dangerous ideas and the dishonest people that peddle them is somehow wrong, impractical, and problematic. These characters were told to look the other way on, whether it be Fuentes, Tucker, or Candace, in order to defeat the left. Here's what people don't get. These people are the left. Perhaps different teams, styles, or temperaments, but indistinguishable in their principles, tyrannical, power-hungry, manipulative, and psychopathic. Allowing the worst actors and their ideas to be mainstream does not strengthen a movement, it weakens it. Look no further than the Democrats.
Yep.
It's all a bit like saying, don't treat the cancer, embrace it so we can win. Well, guess what? Ignore the problem and proceed without treatment, and the patient dies. Consuming the occasional junk food is one thing. Consuming poison is another. If having zero tolerance for poison is a purity test, then so be it. I hope you will ultimately agree at JD Vance. I hope you read that.
I know, right? It was
and
so perfectly said.
Really absorbed it. It was a beautiful sentiment.
So Megyn Kelly took the stage at AmFest after Ben Shapiro, and in Ben Shapiro's speech, he called her out pretty directly, saying that she was cowardly for not taking a stand against some of the worst people that claim to be in the conservative movement. And she sat down, I think it was with Jack Posobiec, about what Ben said, and she was mad, very mad, as you can see from a couple of these clips. Here's one.
So I resent the whole thing. I object to the whole thing. Ben and I, he had the nerve to call me a friend right before he called me a despicable coward for not calling out the people he once called out. So he both wants to parent me and be my child. He wants to tell me what I have to do and who I have to say what to. And then when I don't, he and some of his friends want to act like utter victims because I won't do what they say. They need me. I have to be their daddy and step in to protect them. And I am not their daddy. And I resent that he thinks he's in a position to decide who must say what to whom and when. Thank you. So I don't think we are friends anymore. I've been a very good friend to Ben. Nobody knew who the heck Ben Shapiro was when I started putting him on my shows on the Fox News channel. Yikes. And I helped make him a star.
Yikes.
Yikes is right.
Oh God, so many of this infighting, man.
It's getting ugly. It's getting uglier and uglier and uglier. And she continues to be defiant about Candace specifically. She also talked about that. And just to give you a very quick gist, here is what she said.
Why did I have an obligation to stop Candace from asking those questions? I didn't. And I didn't call her out because I favored her asking them.
Okay. That could not be more clear.
Yeah. Okay. But listen, I felt like she was Candace. I felt like was terrorizing a widow.
Yeah. And continues to
do it. And she said explicitly, if she tells me to stop, I'll stop. And then she didn't. Mm-hmm. So she's also a liar. And she lied about us. You guys, she lied about the two of us, the chicks on the right. And when she lied about us, I was like, okay, well, that absolutely just tells me everything I need to know about her, because she lied about me personally. She lied about me because she said that I was some sort of, what did she call us? She called us like state operatives. We were federal,
something like that.
We were federal operatives. And I'm like,
or like soldiers of the deep state or something.
And I'm like, what is she even talking about? So she just makes shit up about people that she doesn't even know. She lies.
And I get, listen, because, I've got the raccoon thing that says, don't tell me what to do. When Megyn says, the more you tell me to do something, the less I want to do it. I totally understand that. I do. But it's gone beyond that now. She had a panel on her own show talking about Candace, and you could tell she was visibly uncomfortable by other people criticizing Candace, and she leapt to her defense in a big way. Here's what it looked like.
I think that Candace Owens is a very, very dodgy witness in this, considering she doesn't have a ton of credibility amongst.
Okay, but wait, let me say this in Candace's defense.
first of all, she's brilliant. Candace is brilliant. I realize she's controversial, but she is very smart.
Totally normal. And the conversations that Candace Owens has about this stuff, I don't believe to be normal. I believe them to be completely insane. And they're really, really deep in blood libel, in really gross old conspiracy theories.
Can I ask you a question on that? Let me just ask an honest question for you. An honest question for you on that. Because I see the clips that they share of Candace online. And every once in a while, I'll go and just kind of check the clip. But I have seen Candace taken out of context many, many times.
But I assure you that this stuff isn't taken out of context. And I think what happens with people when they get into conspiracy theories is it's never just one. They take the whole passel of them.
Well, she's not here to defend herself. But I will say, like, I have checked more than once because I see this crazy quote, and I know her a little. And she's a fighter. She's feisty. I have never known her to be some nut job. She's very, very fucking smart.
I mean, she is in that corner.
Yeah,
hard.
She's in there hard. Like she's got a recliner there. It's like she's kicked back.
She's got a king size bed there.
She's got a blanket and everything. She's totally there. She's there, man. Wow.
And it's not just Megyn. So, okay, so like we should start a list, right? So Megyn is now, she openly said she's no longer friends with Ben. Mm-hmm. She is very much in defense of Candace, of Tucker, and of Glenn Greenwald. She's been a longtime supporter of Glenn's. And now she is cutting ties, apparently, with Bari Weiss, which is super weird. Bari was criticized over the Christmas break because she put the kibosh on a story that she didn't feel was sourced well enough what's the word I'm looking for? Like there was not enough opposing views or like official views from the White House as a piece of the story. So Bari said, it's not ready for publication. The reporter on that story was all butthurt about it, and it became this big thing. And a lot of people were critical of Bari, saying she's totally biased, whatever. Glenn Greenwald was one of those people. And he tweeted, imagine spending your life in journalism only to have some person float in, meaning Bari Weiss, to dictate what you can and can't report, even though she's never broken a story or even reported, and whose sole qualification is that she's as devoted to Israel as the new family that just bought CBS. Yikes. And Megyn retweeted that about Bari, saying, not to mention, she knows literally nothing about television, which prompted Frank Luntz, of all people, to be like, wait a minute, didn't you just like super congratulate Bari? Because she did. Back in October, Megyn said, Bari Weiss deserves every bit of this success, and I am thrilled to see her rewarded for all of her hard work. Yikes. Go get 'em, B. And so Frank was like, what prompted the shift from deserves every bit of the success to knows literally nothing about television?
Oh, I think we know.
And Megyn responded, and because she doesn't like being criticized this way. And she said, I was reliably informed this week that it is cowardly not to call out your friends with the unvarnished truth about their defects. So my days of being a polite friend to her are over, and there's more truth coming. So she's apparently now in a fight with Bari. And as Jackie Che pointed out rightly, the fact remains Megyn was cheering for Bari and CBS until the very moment that Bari retweeted Ben's speech critiquing Megyn. Yeah. And now she wants to see it burn because Bari prioritized journalistic integrity over loyalty.
Yeah, it's just mean girl stuff. Oh my God. It's just mean girl stuff is what it is. Yeah.
Well, you want to see some mean girl stuff. The fight between her and Mark Levin.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
So why are we doing this? I'm so glad that you and I are not popular. You know what I mean?
I know, man.
It's just the most popular that we ever got is when Candace called us deep state operatives and lied about us. And I was like, wait, she knows who we are? WTF? Yeah, seriously.
Oh my God. So just to make sure that you all are aware that there's also a fight with Mark Levin. Mark criticized Jack Posobiec and Megyn leapt to his defense, saying Mark Levin, who is spiraling because he mocked Catholics praying the rosary and his hatred is evident for all to see, actually thinks he can besmirch Jack Posobiec out of TPUSA. This is genuinely funny, as if TPUSA would ever bow to Christian loather Levin, dying laughing. And he responded, and they're both being such bitches to each other.
Yeah.
He said, Meg Kelly, whose ratings were so bad on NBC she became a laughingstock, was canned for promoting blackface on Halloween. You see, she was always a degenerate bigot. This is why she's cool with Candace Owens and Jack Posobiec. This is why she slobbers over Carlson. She is part of the woke Reich, the queen of the modern Klan. More to come.
Oh, no.
And then she went like, full mean girl, right?
Oh my God. Okay.
And then she said, you're just upset because I'm not afraid of you or your baseless slurs. You're an old, irrelevant, bitter, angry man who could never make it in the Fox News primetime. We used to laugh at you there for your red-faced tantrums over everything.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's so ugly, you guys. It's so ugly.
So ugly. Oh, God, I hate all of this. And listen,
I
I
know.
don't like the fact that he called her a Nazi. I think the term Nazi has been completely overused because he basically called her a Nazi with the woke Reich stuff. I mean, it's first overused by liberals, and now we're overusing it as like conservatives
against each other.
Can we just?
That's the worst part,
right? Can we just not do that? I mean, because we're the ones who know what it is,
right?
Like, liberals are dumbasses; they don't know what it means. We know what it means. Can we all just stop using that word? To stop calling people Nazis when they're not. I don't think that Megyn Kelly's a Nazi. So we can maybe we can call people who don't maybe have backbones other names. You know what I mean? If you want to call them other, or just find another name. But just you know what I mean? I just feel it is all so immature. I don't know.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
I know, it's awful. And it seems so like on Megyn's part, at least, it feels like she is like putting her hands on her hips and stamping her feet and wanting it to be known that she is rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her remotely what to do or where to stand. And you can see it in who she chooses to respond to.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if it's Dave Smith who posts something, just like a Happy New Year's message, she's very quick to reply to that, right? You're awesome. Happy New Year, Dave.
It's really not
Marjorie, when Marjorie Taylor Greene posts Happy New Year from wherever she was visiting, Megyn Kelly makes sure to respond to her specifically. And I just think that is
weird.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting is a good word. Interesting. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Enjoy your passion. Enjoy it.
Yeah. One more thing about Candace, and then we have a clip, of course, from Scott Jennings. But Candace is obviously, her show is back on the air today. She intends to talk more about that weird Mitch Snow guy who the whole Fort Huachuca thing, who now claims that he is the son of the Zodiac killer.
Loser.
So that's a whole other thing. But Candace has decided to come out in the new year slamming TPUSA and the government, essentially. And so she said, look, I have no idea who it is over at the CIA that's responsible for psychological operations, but this Charlie Kirk one has failed miserably. Please just end it. There's no amount of our tax dollars that you can spend that can convince us that Charlie was assassinated by a furry trans named Tyler Robinson who was acting alone. Do we really need to carry this nonsense into 2026? Frankly, the entire operation was sloppy, and the subsequent "you all have to pretend things make sense because people are grieving" has lost its touch. I don't know who sat back at the office and was like, all we need is Tim Pool to scream, Ben Shapiro to stomp his feet, and a lot of pyrotechnics, but that employee needs to be fired. Please end this. It is so stupid. It hurts. So it's going to be a really interesting 2026. I think we know that for sure.
Yeah.
And just to put a final point on this, and then we will be on to fun things. Scott Jennings was asked by Batya Ungar Sargon, both friends of the show now.
Yes. Love them both.
Yeah, he was asked to weigh in on all of the infighting and especially what took place at AmFest. And here is Scott's take.
What say you about all of this brouhaha?
Well, I was proud of Ben, and I'm a big fan of Ben, but he gave an absolutely necessary speech. You know, as a Republican, I always tell people we're a political party. We're not a sponge. You know, we don't have to absorb everything that oozes in under the door.
Right.
I mean, if you had a political party meeting, a Republican meeting, and somebody came in and said, hey, I have an idea, let's raise all the taxes to 100%, you'd beat them up and throw them out. So if somebody oozes in and says, hey, I have an idea, let's deny the Holocaust, let's, you know, turn our back on Israel, let's attack the Jews and blame them for everything going on in our world, why wouldn't we treat them the same way? This is our ally. This is a democratic ally of the United States. We have a shared Judeo-Christian heritage. This is the underpinning, the pillars of Western civilization that we're upholding together.
I'm so glad that he said the things.
Yep. It doesn't surprise me at all because he has great moral clarity.
Yeah,
yes, Scott,
exactly.
He gets it.
He gets it.
Somebody saying that Walsh just dropped out. I'm sure we're going to be talking about that tomorrow.
Oh, he did make it official?
And Walsh just dropped out, people are saying. So
okay. All right. Because we said at the very beginning of the show, this is likely to happen today.
Right.
So now that it has, okay. Look at Nick Shirley go. He basically ended Tim Walz's campaign. That's amazing.
So great. Yeah. And then people will say, he's not a real journalist. I think he is.
Yeah. I feel like he probably is too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to some fun stuff. Holy crap, is this show ever long?
I know,
right? But we're wrapping it up, and we always have to have fun stuff to wrap it up. And as a New Year's message, I know a lot of people have resolutions. I am not one of those people at all. Never have been.
So many resolutions.
You've got like 50 resolutions.
About 42. Yeah. I'm just kidding. Not 42. I have like 7 or 8. That's it.
Wow. Okay. Well, this isn't necessarily a resolution, but it's great messaging for the new year. And it has to do with raising awareness.
Everybody to stop raising awareness. Like, whatever you are aware of, lay it down. Like, please, please, lay the awareness down. This new year, we're not raising no more awareness. It's a couple other things you can go ahead and raise. You can raise your kids.
That's true.
Okay, you can raise your standards. If you wake up bright early in the morning and you was like, oh, I think the people of God need to go ahead and be aware of this, you need to go ahead and lay back down. Okay, find you something to do. If you ain't got nothing to do, go ask your neighbor, how can I help you today?
That's right.
I love this.
Don't raise any more awareness for anything.
We are aware.
Whatsoever.
We're fully aware.
Right.
Just lay it down. Just lay it down.
Lay it down. That's right.
I love her. Also, this guy has a message that we often have said ourselves about the danger of having kids completely devoted to their devices.
Yes.
But this takes a little bit of an interesting twist, as you'll see.
All right.
Honestly, nothing makes me more sad than situations like this where the kids are all just sitting alone on the couch. They're all on devices. Like, where are the parents? Who's taking care of these guys?
Dad, are you going to hang out with us soon?
Yeah, remember I told you guys got to be quiet while I'm filming this, okay? Okay, I'll be right there.
That's so great. It's really
so good because it totally did look like a green screen thing. You know what I mean? It was so good.
Parent influencers. They're the best. Tell me how to parent. Oh, parent influencer. Yeah.
Everyone, without exception, needs to see what it looks like when a baby seal learns to swim.
Oh, no.
It is the cutest thing you will ever see in your life.
Oh my God, so fat and fluffy.
And they're so like slow and careful and deliberate about helping him see how to do it.
Oh my!
Look at his face, you guys. I can't
He's
even
like, I don't know if I like it. I want to be in a warm bed with you. Oh no, I don't know if I want to swim. Do I want to? Okay. Instinct. Look at his little paddle hands.
He's like, do I have this? Can I do it?
Can I let go, Mr.
I've got your little chin. You
Oh
can do
my
it.
God, Mark. I can't. Oh my God.
And then he's like, I got it.
Oh, I need one. Yes, Steve, I need a baby seal. Yes.
You do. You do so bad.
He would like swim in my pool. I love him.
Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Also, I love shepherding dogs. They are so good at their job
my
that they
God,
barely have to do anything, as you'll see from these creatures that were trying to escape a barn and quickly change their mind.
Nope. Nope. Yep. Oh my God. And you know what the thing about those dogs is they are such great worker dogs. And then people will get them and put them in an apartment and be like, why is it so hyper?
Oh my God. Yeah, you can't.
That's why, Karen, because it's supposed to be out there doing that with sheep and running around
Yeah.
all day. Don't have those breeds inside an apartment. Don't do it. It makes me sad.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. Terrible idea.
Yeah.
All right, last but not least, the best possible dog name ever. You are about to hear it. Here it is. I promise. It's coming.
It's coming. Here it comes.
Baby, look, when life give you... Jabarkis. Get your ass...
Jabarkis. Greatest name for a dog ever. Jabarkis.
Is it not the greatest?
Oh my God. If you don't name your next dog Jabarkis, I don't even know who you are anymore. I don't.
I love that so much. Oh my God. All right, we have some thank yous. Speaking of thank yous, you guys, there were so many gifts that it would take another like 3 hours to go through them all, and we just can't. I'm going to try to find people online to thank them personally. I know you already have.
I try to do that, yes.
Oh my God. There were so many amazing, thoughtful, creative. I don't even know. There's not enough adjectives to describe our community and how generous they are.
So thankful.
So thankful.
For all the food and the gifts and the gift cards. Like, seriously, you guys make our holidays. You really do. Because, my family pretty much forgets about me. But you guys, you guys come through. You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
Every year. That's right.
Over on Locals, Audrey Krause said, welcome back, Mock and Daisy. Happy 2026. You were missed, and I'm so glad to hear all that you have to say about Venezuela and everything else. No one is better at breaking down the news than you two. Happy Monday.
I love that. Or as AOC would say, Venezuela.
Venezuela. Osuki said, I hate that SOB. If we don't stop Mamdani, it will spread all across the country. I'm glad she named him. Otherwise, I would have had no idea who she was talking about.
There's a lot of SOBs, a lot of them.
And Donna, she said, just because you were missed, also because of COTR, we have met so many wonderful people. Right now, we are in combo with Jeff and Rose from the Costa Rica meet and greet.
I love it.
Love you and welcome back. Now life can get back to normal for us.
Isn't
that the cutest?
All
right, now you.
I love it. Marcy Perales. Good morning, Mock and Daisy. Welcome back from your well-deserved rest. I hope you enjoyed your time with your families. We did. Happy New Year. We're hoping 2026 is a better year. Much love. We are too, because can't get much worse than 2025.
It really can't.
Huge dumpster fire. Yes. Thank you, Marcy. Robin Dye, I like your tree is up, Daisy, through January 6th Epiphany. No, it's not my Christmas tree. That's just a regular tree. See?
That's just a house plant.
It's a house
And I took my tree down on Friday. It was the most depressing thing ever.
I actually was okay with it because all my Christmas decorations go up on November the 1st. So I'm okay with taking them down. It was kind of nice. It was like cleansing,
I'm never okay with it. It's so sad to me.
But it was like getting rid of 2025. All of it was purged.
That's true. That's true.
It was great. Tilt-a-whirl 72. My grandfather's name was Ransom William Weaver. It's an old school name. I always thought it was a very distinguished gentleman name. Okay.
But that has an E on it. That's ransom with an E. That's at least a different word than like the actual kidnapping thing.
That's right. It's not your.
You know what I mean?
Mock is right. That's right. Paula Johnson, 1498. Marco should stay Secretary of State. It is a job that is almost more important than president. We need him in that position. You know what? You're absolutely right, Paula. It's a great point.
I mean, he can have both jobs. He's done it before.
I don't know who is going to be Secretary of State if he's not, because it freaks me out. Aranurm, when Iran, Russia, South Africa, France, of course, and China deploy your action, you know what you've done is right. Happy New Year, jerks. Here's my nickel. Now let's see how Pam Bondi's DOJ does its follow-up job, supports Mrs. Bolton. Yes.
hyphen supports.
Hyphen.
Oh, I get it. Okay.
Hyphen? What was that?
Because he put a hyphen in his name to be like Shelley Bolton.
Oh, okay. Got it. All right. Ginkgo Yoki 234. Maduro's apprehension was also a shot across the bow for Iran, Russia, and especially China, who essentially was running Venezuela's drug cartels. Yep. Who in turn was running Maduro. Yep. Don't mess with the people of the USA. Damn straight. Go. Ginkgo Yoki 234 again. Kami Danny. Is that right? Mamdani needs to stay in New York City with the idiots who voted for him. He needs to let the adults deal with foreign affairs. Yeah, I'm just afraid that I feel like it's going to spread. This is just the beginning if we're not careful. 4 little tadpoles. Just wanted to say, I'm so glad you ladies are back. I told my husband last night I was so looking forward to this morning. Well, that's so sweet. You're my Super Bowl. Well, thank you. Love you, ladies. We love you right back. Kim H87, Happy New Year, chicks. Regarding the dumbass lefties who can't handle the Venezuela operation, they don't understand because we finally have a POTUS with balls who's proactive versus reactive, which is a foreign concept to them. The rest is us winning. That's true.
Yep.
Kim. Absolutely. Shelley Bolton, the answer to what are your thoughts on the Venezuelans celebrating? The honest answer would be, I have no thoughts. I was told not to think.
Exactly. These people are morons.
They are morons. Terry Silva, thank you for that super sticker. Ginkgo Yoki, again, I stand with the Venezuelan people. I stand, brain reboots. I stand with the Venezuelan people and against U.S. imperialism. Against the Venezuelan people bombed by U.S. Yeah, they have no idea. They have no idea. BTK 1213, Trump free air tickets and money for their citizenship visa. I have no idea.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. Uriel Gonzalez 7685. Sometime this week, some liberal federal judge is going to rule that Trump must return Maduro and his wife to Venezuela. Just wait. Oh, please don't say it. You put it out in the universe, Uriel. I don't want that to happen. Well, that 95-year-old, whatever he is.
92.
92. No business working. What the hell?
Right?
Ginkgo Yoki 1234 or 234. Sorry, the left. You're a bigot. You're an Islamophobe. Me and yeah. When people call me an Islamophobe, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
whatever.
I'm fine. They've given us plenty of reason to phobia them.
Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. Couple of things. Happy New Year. Glad you're back. Miss True Voice is a reason. Nick Shirley is a real journalist. That's right. The MSM doesn't even want to say his name. Ginkgo Yoki, I guess we're all wrong. Instead of concerning ourselves with the Nigerian prince, we should have been concerned about Somali leering centers. That's right. Terry Ray next 6070. Protesters were being asked about their protests. Most didn't even know what they were. One older lady got asked and she looked at her sign and still frozen, no answer. This caused a Venezuelan to lose his freaking mind. Mm-hmm.
It's insane. They're just so paid. It's so organized.
It is ridiculous. Ginkgo Yoki. Ask a leftist protester a question like, how many stars are on the U.S. flag? How many dimes are in a dollar? What is 3 times 3 times 3? Who was the first U.S. president? And they couldn't answer them. Correct. Yep. Terry Ray next 6070. I listen to Megyn with restraint. She's busy telling us to go F ourselves. I'm kind of tired of that line. In a way, it is a way to deflect what she can't answer. She has fallen in love with her own popularity. Yikes. March on 2027. Phew. So glad my favorite ladies, chicks on the right, are back. Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us navigate through all this sheesh. Thank you for being here. We appreciate y'all. Kristen Beal 7488. I was going through chick withdrawal. I am so glad you're back doing what you do. Thank you so much for your necessary analyses. I appreciate you. We appreciate you guys. And you know what? We're glad to be back. I told Mock the other day, I was like, I'm ready to come back. Because when you get to a certain point, when you're full of you're full of cheese and sugar.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what day it is. Like I got to that point. I'm like, I really miss you. And I miss my best friend. I just want to be back. So Aaron Krieger, I just wanted to say how happy I am that we're back and to share my gratitude for you jerks in this incredible community. Love you all. We love you, Aaron. Sandy Stokes 7549. My recent litter of pups was a singleton registered as RBRANDL. One is the loneliest number and her call name is Solo. Solo. And that's it,
cute.
You guys. That's it. Okay,
This was the longest show ever, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember now what our record is.
We're bringing it in. I'm doing the best I can. It still kind of hurts a little bit, so I'm bringing it in. You guys have the best Monday ever of 2026, and we'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Hello, beautiful people. This is the Chicks on the Right's Indian correspondent. Thank you for watching. or listening, be very sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell to stay up to date on all of their delicious content. Okay, thank you. Come again.
Okay.